Everyone thinks they understand Jimin and Jungkook the moment they hear the word age. Jimin is older, Jungkook is younger, and that alone already creates expectations. People assume Jimin must be the one leading, guiding, and taking care of Jungkook. But the moment you really watch them closely, that assumption starts to fall apart. Because what actually shows up again and again is a dynamic that feels completely different. A dynamic where Jungkook, despite being younger, is the one who often pampers Jimin, teases him, and quietly takes control of the emotional atmosphere between them. From the very beginning of their public interactions, Jungkook has never behaved like someone who is intimidated by age hierarchy when it comes to Jimin. Instead, he moves comfortably, confidently, and playfully around him. He jokes with him freely, touches him casually, and reacts to him in ways that feel natural rather than careful. And Jimin doesn't push that away. He accepts it. He responds to it. Sometimes he even leans into it. What stands out the most is how Jungkook seems to enjoy making Jimin react. Not in a mean way, not to embarrass him, but to draw out his expressions. Jungkook teases Jimin knowing exactly how Jimin will respond. He knows which jokes will make Jimin laugh, which ones will make him complain dramatically, and which ones will make him shy. That kind of teasing only works when two people know each other extremely well. Jimin, despite being older, often becomes visibly softer around Jungkook. His voice changes, his reactions become more animated, he laughs more easily, and complains more openly. In many moments, he doesn't act like a Hyung who needs to maintain authority. He acts like someone who feels safe enough to relax. And Jungkook seems to be very aware of that. There are countless moments where Jungkook subtly pampers Jimin without making a big deal out of it. He pays attention to Jimin's comfort, he notices when Jimin is tired, he notices when Jimin is cold, he notices when Jimin seems quiet or overwhelmed. And instead of announcing it, Jungkook adjusts himself. He stays close, he slows down, he softens his tone. This is where the age difference almost disappears, because caretaking isn't always about who is older. Sometimes it's about who is more emotionally attentive in that moment, and very often that person is Jungkook. At the same time, Jungkook loves to mess with Jimin. He pokes him, he surprises him, he throws in sudden comments that catch Jimin off guard. Jimin reacts with mock anger, exaggerated complaints, and dramatic expressions. But if you look closely, there's always a smile hiding underneath. There's comfort in the way Jimin reacts. He doesn't shut Jungkook down. He doesn't create distance. He stays engaged. That balance between teasing and caring is what makes Jungkook's behavior stand out. He knows exactly how far he can go. He knows when to stop, and when Jimin's mood shifts, Jungkook shifts with him. The teasing fades, the mischief quiets down, and what replaces it is calm presence. In group settings, Jungkook often positions himself near Jimin without it feeling forced. He mirrors Jimin's movements. He reacts to Jimin's jokes faster than anyone else. Sometimes he laughs before the joke even fully lands, as if he already knows what Jimin is about to say. Those moments feel instinctive, not planned. Another interesting detail is how Jungkook often supports Jimin verbally. If Jimin hesitates during an interview, Jungkook fills in gently. If Jimin downplays himself, Jungkook lifts him up casually. He doesn't overpraise, he doesn't make it dramatic, he just says the right thing at the right time, like it's natural for him to do so. This kind of behavior creates a quiet emotional safety net. Jimin doesn't have to ask for it, Jungkook offers it automatically, and Jimin seems to trust that it will be there. When it comes to physical affection, Jungkook is often the initiator. A quick touch, a playful grab, sitting closer than necessary. These actions happen naturally, and Jimin rarely pulls away. Instead, he reacts, laughs, or pretends to be annoyed while staying right where he is. The comfort level between them is obvious. What makes this dynamic even more interesting is that Jungkook doesn't act this way with everyone. His teasing has a specific tone when it comes to Jimin. His attention is more focused. His reactions are more immediate. It feels personal. Jimin, on the other hand, allows himself to be vulnerable around Jungkook in small ways. He shows more emotion, he complains more freely, he expresses affection without hesitation. That kind of openness usually appears when someone feels deeply understood. There are moments when Jungkook looks at Jimin with a level of attentiveness that feels protective. Not possessive, not dramatic, just present, as if he's constantly checking in, making sure Jimin is okay. And when Jimin catches him looking, Jungkook doesn't hide it. He smiles. He turns it into a joke. He lightens the moment again. This cycle repeats over and over. Teasing turns into laughter. Laughter turns into comfort. Comfort turns into quiet closeness. And through it all, Jungkook seems to be guiding the emotional flow more often than people expect. Age, in this case, becomes just a number. What matters more is how they interact, how they respond to each other, and how naturally they fall into these roles. Jimin may be older, but he doesn't resist being pampered. Jungkook may be younger, but he doesn't hesitate to take care of Jimin in his own way. Their relationship doesn't follow a strict structure. It bends, it adapts. Sometimes Jimin leads, sometimes Jungkook does. But when it comes to emotional attentiveness, playful teasing, and quiet pampering, Jungkook often steps forward without being asked. And that's what keeps fans watching so closely, because every time you think you figured out their dynamic, another small moment appears. Another tease, another smile, another quiet gesture that suggests there's always more happening beneath the surface, still unfolding, still drawing attention, and still leaving the story open to continue. And when you put all of these moments together, a clearer picture finally forms. The age difference between Jimin and Jungkook exists on paper, but in their day-to-day dynamic, it doesn't define who gives and who receives. What defines their relationship is comfort, familiarity, and a quiet understanding that doesn't need to be explained out loud. Jungkook pampering Jimin doesn't contradict Jimin being older. Instead, it shows how fluid and balanced their bond really is. Jimin doesn't lose his strength or maturity just because he allows himself to be teased or taken care of. In fact, it highlights how secure he feels. He knows he doesn't have to perform a role around Jungkook. He doesn't have to be the responsible Hyung all the time. He can relax, joke, complain, and even act a little spoiled because he trusts Jungkook to meet him there. And Jungkook, despite being younger, shows a level of emotional awareness that goes beyond age. He knows when to joke and when to stop. He knows when Jimin needs laughter and when he needs quiet support. His teasing isn't careless, it's intentional, it's affectionate, it's rooted in knowing Jimin deeply. This is why so many fans feel drawn to their dynamic. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel staged, it feels lived in, like something that developed naturally over years of being side by side, learning each other's habits, moods, and unspoken signals. The teasing, the pampering, the small gestures, they all come from that shared history. And maybe that's the most important part to remember. Relationships don't have to follow expected rules to be real. They don't have to match cultural assumptions or traditional roles. Sometimes the younger one takes care of the older one. Sometimes the older one enjoys being spoiled. And sometimes both things can be true at the same time. Jimin and Jungkook show us that connection is about balance, not hierarchy, about presence, not position. And the more you watch them, the more those small, quiet moments start to speak louder than any label ever could. If you've noticed moments where Jungkook pampers Jimin, or times when his teasing clearly comes from affection, share them in the comments. If there's a specific interaction that made you see their dynamic differently, talk about it. And if you want more deep dives into Jimin and Jungkook's relationship, their unspoken moments, and the details fans often miss, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this story isn't finished yet, and there's always another moment waiting to be noticed.